Hey guys, JFrem Gardening here. I haven't posted a video in a while. Just been busy with the summer and enjoying it, and figured I'd finally post a video after a lot of the plants. We got them out from downstairs. The greenhouse has been collapsed. We have pretty much gotten rid of that. I got rid of the extra plants we had. I ended up giving them out to a friend of mine. They got so that way they can grow, and if they have extras they said they would give them, but no worries, I think we got plenty enough coming as well. But I do have a few more I'm going to plant just as extra ones we had downstairs. So we run through. Basically we have our cucumbers. These are bushling cucumbers, and then we also have the white cucumbers on that side. These are all bushling on this side. I'm trying to see if this will work. It might get a little heavy, so I'm going to make a cross beam between the strings that are going across, but I'm hoping that these start climbing up the strings as they go along and make it a little easier to pick. Lattice board was a little expensive, so I did not go down that path to make it a archway to make it a little easier. So I figured I'll try this method. That way at least it won't collapse or anything from the wood being out and getting weathered or anything like that as well. We have bucket. We did do our most of our peppers and jalapenos. Well, pretty much all of our jalapenos or peppers, like hot peppers, pretty much in buckets. A couple of them are kind of going not as good, so we may have to replant. I got a couple left I can replant with these that are still growing downstairs. I grew them later on just to make sure. Garlic is growing good. Eventually we'll take this out, and once the garlic comes out, we will end up putting cantaloupe and watermelon in here. We wanted to put it in the box to kind of keep it more contained if we can. I may put a little bit of chicken wire or something around so that way it keeps inside and contained in the box. Also, another thing we threw in is there is flowers we got in here, morning glories. Basically we put them in here. That way we try to get away the aphids and the bugs, because they started eating at some of the leaves on the bottom of the plants. As you can tell down here, we have some down here that they're kind of been eaten at a little bit, and they're kind of still going, but they've been not too horrible. So hopefully these will, I think these should be good. We do got flowers going on here. So these are our sweet cherry peppers that we grew. Definitely like the layout the way that we have it. We have them staked with wood stakes basically, to be able to tell what the plants are, and then that way I gapped them enough to be able to go ahead and be able to use that to be able to walk in between, so then that way we're not overran by plants trying to get inside and get, especially tomatoes, once they start growing pretty good, that they will, they tend to grow all over the place. So we kept them a little spaced out. We may have to add a couple more cages in here depending on how it is. We have our asparagus beans are back here. That's what these are growing back here. So we'll see what we get some beans. These things are long. They're normal beans, but they're pretty elongated beans, which are pretty cool looking. I know some of the stuff is starting to rip from the weather here. A lot of ripping from the black felt, and hopefully I may have to start covering. We'll see how the grass grows or the weeds. Been trying to keep it picked down so that way it doesn't get in here. I went with a weird methodology. I was gonna run the drip strips, and the way that we have it laid out, I guess we learned kind of the factor of that the drip strips, we need to put it more in a row, and we kind of zigzag these to keep them offset to get in between them, which is completely fine. I did have it on here, and it just didn't seem to work right. It was shooting all over, and it was not wanting to work properly, and it just wasn't spaced out. So maybe next year I'll go with the drip situation strips instead of doing sprinklers. But I ended up, for now, I got the sprinkler. That one basically here shoots and aims out, will hit all of these plants, and then I do have a sprinkler in the middle there that usually gets the cucumbers and all the buckets. So usually most of the time them are pretty good. And then I got a more of an area for grass, but an area sprinkler, that way it hits everything, plus it kind of hits all of the flowers that are along here. That way they all get hit with water. Makes it much easier, not have to worry about it. Set your timer, 15 minutes, and then just let it go. 15 maybe to 20 minutes. We just let them go through. This is the one broccoli that made it. I was trying celery. I think that's this. I believe this is the one celery made it, but the rest of it didn't. So we'll see how that goes. But the broccoli is kind of getting eaten at. I may have to spray some stuff on it, or I may have to do a little bit of more flowers on this end because it seems like the ants are kind of getting to it. That might be ants. I don't know if it's any of the bugs, but yeah, it's kind of getting eaten at. So it's starting to grow here in the middle, which is nice, but bugs are going ham on it. Well, it's our first year growing broccoli and celery. We really have never grown it in the past, so we figured we'd try it out and see what happens. We may end up I may put some more plants down this end. This is completely open. Originally, I was going to put the cucumbers and the cantaloupe down here, but don't mind. I'm going to go through here with the leaf blower eventually, because this tree above me is shedding all over the place. I did not know it actually shedded this bad, but it's a flowering tree, which actually smells amazing. It's actually right above me here. But, yeah. So I'll have to see about that one. Anywho, so I'm going to show one little tip and trick. I know for sure many of you know that tomato plants tend to grow what they call the succulars. They basically steal nutrients from the tree. They don't really help the tomato plant at all, and they grow in between. So, I mean, most of the time you'll see them, they don't have any flowers. There's flowers on this because they grow off the branches, off the stem. Well, not branches, should say stems. But they basically grow in between two different pieces here. You can see it. Usually what I'll do is I should be out here snapping these off, because if not, if I don't snap these off, basically they're going to start stealing nutrients from the tree. The plant's okay. It will grow like here. It'll grow back. It'll be fine. It's not going to hurt it. I've done it in the years past and had no problems with tomato plants. So that's one of the things I go through and just kind of look through the plants to see if I find any more of them, and some basically I'll just toss them in the burn pile, or actually in the recycle bin for grass and stuff, because they're being in city limits. So, but most of them, yeah, you go through and you kind of pick at them. Like I said, they're usually in the middle. You can go in and snap them off. That one doesn't have a whole lot. Yeah, that one's fine. There isn't really a whole lot of them, which is nice. I've noticed years past we've had a whole slew of them. They'll be like in the middle, like this guy down here. See, this one really doesn't have any flowers on it. It's kind of in the middle between the branch. And you have your normal branch, and then this doesn't really have flowers on it. So, like this here. So we'll wait and see. I don't know. It's kind of really in the middle. Most of the time it's usually in the center, like kind of I was showing before. This one here is basically in the center between the Y. It's kind of like makes like a Y form, and it grows right out of the middle here. So it's kind of like this one, like this here. We'll see. I don't know. See, it's kind of, yeah, this one's in the middle here. We'll pull this one off. Get rid of it. So, yep, the tree will be completely fine. It won't have any issues with it, but I figured I'd show a little tip with this. Like I said, there's little baby ones that grow in between here. You want to kind of get them before they get too big, because once they get big, they get like enormous like this. And then it just sits and eats the nutrients from the plant and eats the water. It doesn't help it, I mean, really to grow much. It doesn't aid to it. So, anywho, so that's pretty much it. That's the update that I haven't done in a while. Once stuff starts coming, I'll go ahead and start showing a little bit more as we start producing. and definitely we'll get from there. I just noticed one on here too. There's actually a little one growing. Look at that. There's a little one. Sweet. That'll be good. Hopefully we'll definitely have a bunch more to go off of. And I'll show you real quick. I'll show you also the other plants as well. I'll run through and show you them. So this actually, the peach tree I showed a while back, it's actually got a bunch of peaches growing on it. You can see them. They're all little tiny little peaches. Actually pretty interesting. And this isn't going to get too big. So definitely a good tree. The lilac tree is not doing a whole lot, but this is usually spring. Next year we're going to try to cut this down and maybe thin it out, make it more into a tree rather than a bush. And then the blueberries are growing pretty good. We're just waiting for them to grow. So alright, so other than that, I will record up the front stuff on another day. I just wanted to give you an update on the garden and kind of show you what's been going on. Like I said, it's just we've been enjoying and doing other stuff, you know, during the summer. So we really haven't updated the channel, so I'm going to try to keep up with it a little bit more. Try to give you more updates as everything's going on, because stuff's starting to grow and start to produce vegetables and things like that. Plus I'll show you the other stuff we start planting. So I will definitely catch you in the next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, let me know anything else as well in the comment section. If you have anything to add, definitely catch out the website. I haven't really updated it much. I might start adding some more pictures, more things come in. And that is jfremgardening.wordpress.com. I have not moved it over to a normal site yet, just because I wasn't for sure if we'll take off. Other than that, I will catch you in the next video. Have a good one.